Hello guys, so today I'm gonna be reviewing the trades I took today. Um the day was like very simple. I basically got off I hopped on the charts at like 9:15 to mark out my potential drawn liquidities and uh basically just make my narrative for today. And I basically was done by 9:35 a.m. In New York time. So I was done in like 20 minutes, but I was doing like 5 minutes of trading, but I basically was on the charts for like 20 minutes today. Um, Let me actually just turn these executions off for a sec. Uh, so on the 4 hour chart, overall we're bullish. We previously rebalanced this 4 hour gap. Um, what's called? We previously rebalanced this 4 hour gap, and then we just displaced up. I was looking for any 1 hour rebalance here of like if we rebalanced anything previously here, but we didn't. So the only thing is here is this 1 hour rebalance that we rebalanced this gap, but like this was not a good gap to use because it was like so far back. Like this happened yesterday. So I ended up dropping down to the 30 minute um and then the 15. So what I had marked out is we had we had this 15-minute bullish gap here. We have this 15-minute bullish gap, and obviously, the 4 hour draws were since the 4 hour is bullish, and we had these draws higher. Um, Even though I seen this high here got swept by this high here got swept like this, but then when I looked at ES had equal highs everywhere there. Let me show you. So we bounced this exact same. We rebalance the same 15-minute gap here on ES, and then we have these equal highs, and then we had this all-time high here on the right, I mean on the left. So let me go back to NQ. So then I also, even though the high there got swept, before that high, there was these equal highs down here, which I had marked out. Uh, I wasn't even planning to break even here since I was basically watching ES. Um, so I was only considering to close this trade if ES did react from this point and then reverse. But honestly, like this draw here is like very high probability to get taken too. But these equal highs here are almost like certain. Like obviously there's that 5% chance that like it could just do something stupid, but that's basically like I basically what's called this is like my model and I back tested it, so I understand like the probabilities for each trade. So what I done as soon as that 15-minute gap here, so off open, we were over here. So as soon as let me actually draw this. So this is the 9:30 open. This is 9:30 open. So as soon as 9:30 opens, this 15-minute gap is still unfilled. So then we drop down, we rebalance the 15-minute gap. We make the 9:30 so the 15-minute candle is from 9:30 a.m. to 9:45. So at 9:30 we manipulate down, we make the 15-minute wick, and then we immediately reverse out of it. So there was an inverse over here, which was the highest time frame inversion, which was this 1 minute. There was no, well, I can't even check the 2 minute on because I don't have TradingView Premium. But anyways, I wasn't like I have enough. I've seen this happen too many times. If there's like a 1 minute inversion all the way at the top and it's 9:30 open, we're usually not going to catch the trade. It's like if I was to take this mechanically, I would have to wait for the candle to close above this 1 minute, which by that point my draw would be taken already and the risk reward's fucked. So what I done I went down to the 15-second chart and there was an inversion over here. I'm actually gonna change the screen because um I have it on the other platform. I'm just gonna show you my execution. So this is the eval account. So I cut this trade on eval. So I took the same 15-second inversion. The inversion is somewhere like here. Let me just write this. So there's a 15-second inversion over here. As soon as we closed above the 15-second inversion, I ended up longing. So we have these low resistant highs leading up to the other low resistant highs here. And we also have the ES low resistant highs. So I basically end up longing and I closed above this high. And this was an eval trade. I made like 1.5k on this trade, I think. I ended up closing like somewhere here. And what happened is I had to make like another $10 to pass the account. So I just e- entered with like 1 micro and just basically met my profit target. But now I'm gonna change to the other screen. Not to the other screen. I need to open Alpha Trader to show you the 15-second chart. Um, so this is the exact same thing here. So this line here is basically the high of the 15-minute gap over here. So there's a 15-minute gap here, and this is the same scenario as on the other screen. So this was where the 15-second IFVG was. So now I'm gonna drop down to the 15-second chart. So it was this exact IFVG here. This was the highest time frame inversion. There was no 30-second. I'll show you now. Um, they're actually like over right now it looks like there's an inversion, but I honestly think my screen's glitched right now because this like sometimes Alpha Trader is just glitched and it doesn't really show the wicks. Like I'm pretty sure this candle here has like a wick and this actually like there's a reason because I checked the 30-second in the moment and there was no 30-second IFVG. So I ended up dropping down to the 15-second and then I got this inverse here and this inverse right here. So as soon as we close above this inverse, uh, like over here, we still didn't close above it, but in theory, we basically did. Like I just ended up market entering like on this candle here, since ES was also displacing, and this was the 930 wick right here on ES, and then we had this. I was basically looking at the low resistance on ES right here to close my trade. So this low resistance here and also the high there, which is the same high as this high here on NQ. And on this account here, this is my qualified accounts. I copy traded like 2 accounts um, today on this platform. And let me show you. Why is my execute? Oh, here. So yeah, I entered on this candle right here. I entered like right here. And I basically just ended up going, I just ended up closing my trade exactly as soon as this high got taken here. Because all I needed is to make 200. I made 260 today, but I risked 200 and I made 260 on this trade. That's basically all I needed. Uh, I just didn't want a winning day so I could request these payouts. Um, Today was pretty simple, to be honest. Like I also like I always like to see both of the assets correlated. So I liked the fact that we had not only we had lower time frame low resistance, we also had higher time frame low resistance. So this here would be probably you could consider this a lower time frame low resistance because it's leading up to the higher time frame high on the left of us. But for this 15-second entry, this was my low resistance here. So I like the fact that we had like a lot of low resistance leading up to the high. So that's pretty much it. Basically, just a 15-minute rebalance, and then highest time frame IFVG, which was 15 second. Even though there's a 1 minute there, I like the fact, like the 1 minute IFVG was probably there was a 1 minute fair value gap like here. Um, but the fact that we had low resistance leading up to the hard time frame high, I ended up trusting the 15-second inverse to just long this automatically as soon as this got inversed. Because by this point here, by the point of my entry, um, ES was running up to this 930 high. Fuck. Okay, so ES was running up to a 930 high, and then basically by the time ES taken these low resistant the equal highs above us, which is like here, this is the same candle as this. So we taken it on the same candle that we closed the trade. So like this is the safest trade from today. Like I only held longer because we had displacement and I need to make a bit more on the other account to meet my profit target. But today was pretty much a simple day, to be honest. Like it was like the easiest and like this was like an A plus trade. It was like the best trade and the easiest trade this week for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna probably make a review tomorrow as well, on Friday's trading day. Um, oh yeah, and also I also ended up trading Asia yesterday and I caught a win. Um, so the trade I took, this was a banger. Like I'll be honest, this was actually a banger. I ended up closing a bit before that. So what's called? We had a 15-minute rebalance. So at this point here, we had this wick right here. Um, Let me actually start off on the higher time frame. So what we had is we had that wick, we had the unfilled 4 hour gap there, and then we had those highs above us. Um, so the 4 hour too wasn't too useful here. Um, but we did like react. We reacted from like around 50% of this wick right here. It actually, yeah, basically right, like basically 50%. So at that point, once I seen we were reacting off this wick, I wasn't really expecting this wick to get taken. So then I waited a bit longer and I seen this 15-minute rebalance. This same rebalance wasn't present on ES. Let me. It's so annoying going back and forward. Like I think I'm definitely gonna buy Trading View Premium like this week or some. Yeah, so this is the same point here. We had no 15-minute rebalance, but we had an SMT. So this 545 low. Um, my shit's running a bit slow. So like we had so on NQ we rebalanced this gap, but on ES we ended up just sweeping low. But I wasn't really too focused on that. I was more focused on the low resistance. So as soon as we rebalanced that 15-minute gap, I seen all this low resistance over here leading up to these equal highs, which I marked already, which is these equal highs right here, which is the low resistance. Um, I entered long here. We had the 15-second IFVG and what's called. Then by the time this high here got taken, which was like basically the low resistance, the internal low resistance, we ended up consolidating a bit. I didn't end up break evening because I decided that my stop loss is higher resistance than the highs above us, since like you have to ask yourself what is more protected if you're in a trade. Is my stop loss more protected? Um, or are these highs more protected? Like if I break even, like obviously my entry is so low down. If I break even, like I wouldn't expect the price to go there, but I just ended up not break evening since I still believe price is gonna go higher. Um, so then I didn't break even, and we what's it called? We rebalance this 5 minute gap. Um, we get IFVG here. I actually took a trade on a different eval. Um, I actually took a trade on a different eval, and I made like 1,000, I think. Uh, yeah, I made like 970. So I took a 5 minute gap entry there. Wait, what the fuck's wrong with this? I need to go back. Yeah, so I took that 5 minute entry, but on this eval account, I was still in this trade. So I didn't even break even at this point. And then we run up to the low resistance, and I was expecting us to go to this high and possibly a bit higher, but I was mainly focused on ES. In this case, I was focused on ES because ES had like equal highs, I think. Where is this shit? Yeah, so this high here, this was like relative equal with this one here. So I was expecting ES to take those highs before actually closing my trade. But uh yeah, so I had to make like another 600 at this point here. Like another 600 by the time this high got taken. So I honestly ended up holding a bit longer. And then after it consolidated for a long while, I just ended up closing on this candle right here. So I think I made like around this much, like a 123.5 risk to reward, which I was okay with. I still made like 1.8k on this eval, which I ended up passing today. But that was pretty much the trades for today. So yeah, that's it. I'll either live trade tomorrow, or I'm gonna make a trade review after the session ends. Or I might even trade Asia and do a live trading. I don't know, I'll see. But I'm gonna go hit the gym now, and hopefully you guys follow your rules and trade smart and don't over leverage and don't blow accounts. And enjoy the rest of your day.